What's up everyone, we're going to be going to the best WNBA player props on PrizePicks today. Now I did want to show you the results from yesterday's picks from my exclusive Discord group, and as you guys see we actually got 21 picks correct, which is absolutely insane. Now a lot of you comment wanting to see how many I got wrong, and I thought I'd show you in today's video. We only got 2 picks wrong and got 21 right, which is a 93% win rate. Yes guys, you heard that right, 93% win rate. So we are on a huge hot streak, but if you want to get a 93% win rate and get 21 picks right like me, win more bets and receive the best picks and some of the best bettors in the world for less than a cup of coffee, you can access the exclusive Discord group and meet some of the best sport bettors in the game by joining my Patreon, should be linked down below in the description. Once you join, you'll have complete access to the Discord and can start winning more bets today. So make sure to join my Patreon using the link in the description. And here's one of our members who just signed up and won himself $1,000 just yesterday, and another member who won $1,027 for the 6th day in a row since joining my Discord. So guys, if you want to win big money like our members, the link will be in the description, so go join the Patreon to have access to the Discord group, and I will be continuing to upload every single day on this channel the best bets and props, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss my daily uploads. So quick shout out to RB Foxer7690 who said let's go, and shouts out to Cedric Gali 7750 who said fell dumb. I actually watched this video at 2 p.m. earlier today and didn't take those picks, and look at what happened. So we actually had a great day on the free picks on YouTube, so it seems like he missed out, but hopefully he comes back and does better again this time. But shouts out to them, and if you do want to win a shout out in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below in this video and like it, and you can be in the running to win a shout out in the next one. Alright, so let's get straight into the first pick. And when it comes to these picks, I'm not saying to chuck all of them into a parlay and hope for the best. Pick and choose the ones that you like and the ones that work best for you. So the first pick we're talking about is none other than Jewell Lloyd, and this one is for 10.5 points, and this one actually is for less. Now, looking at someone like Jewell Lloyd, we actually have seen her go on the under in 4 out of the last 5 games. So when we look at those last 5 games, you see on August 18th, faced off against Dallas, had 12 points there. After that, actually faced off on August 20th against Atlanta, had 7 points in that matchup. August 22nd, faced off against Phoenix, had 5 points in that matchup. Then 8 points against Washington Mystics on August 24th. And then August 26th, faced off against Chicago Sky and had 2 points there. So it is pretty interesting to see. Obviously, looking at someone like Jewell Lloyd, we definitely have seen her kind of struggle a little bit when it comes to actually, scoring. Like I mentioned, not only has she gone on the under in 4 out of the last 5, but her average over the last 5 is also 6.8. which is significantly, very low compared to her actual averages. Now, looking at this matchup, we do know when it comes to Jewell Lloyd, Jewell Lloyd and the Las Vegas Aces face off against Atlanta Dream. Now, it is going to be an exciting game, but looking at where both these teams do rank, starting off with Las Vegas Aces, we have seen them do a really good job, especially coming back from where they were before, but they currently actually have the 3rd spot in the WNBA. Now, not only do they rank 3rd, but they also rank 2nd in the Western Conference. They have a 25 win, 14 loss record, and they also have a 64.1% win percentage. Now, they do have a record of 14-5 at home, 11-9 from away, and are currently on an 11-game win streak. Yes, you heard that right, 11 games. They've been on an absolute tear. At one point, they were actually ranked 8th and 9th pretty much, and because of that, because of their 11-game win streak, they have pushed themselves all the way to 3rd place, so congratulations to them there. Now they face off against Atlanta Dream coming into this next one. And looking at Atlanta Dream, we do know Atlanta do actually rank 2nd in the WNBA, but they rank 1st in their conference. So they actually rank 1st in the Eastern Conference. They have a record of 24 wins and 13 losses. That's a 64.9% win percentage. And on top of that, they are 12-5 from home, 12-8 from away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak. So it is pretty interesting to see. Obviously, looking at someone like Jewell Lloyd, we have definitely seen her do a pretty poor job. And on top of that, looking at Atlanta Dream, we also do see Atlanta Dream do rank 2nd when it comes to points allowed. So this one's kind of a no-brainer to us, and why we do like the under for this situation here. Jewell Lloyd is a great player, do not get me wrong, but her usage rate being very low, and the fact that, Atlanta Dream not only just do a fantastic job at restricting points, we also do a fantastic job at restricting points to Jewell Lloyd's position. We definitely see that playing a huge factor here. So for a reason like this, we do very much like the under for someone like Jewell Lloyd coming into this game. Now, looking at someone like Jewell, what we also have seen when it comes to her last 5 games, we've also seen her usage rate definitely decrease. Now, this can mean a lot of different things. Aces tend to play Jewell Lloyd a little bit different, and that's one of the reasons why they are on an 11-game win streak. You know, it seems that she is in a bit of a different type of role, not really doing much of the scoring and doing a more facilitating out there and just really, you know, getting everyone else involved. So it's definitely taking a hit to her scoring. So we definitely looking at all those things into place. We are definitely liking the under for a situation like this. So for that reason, Jewell Lloyd, 10.5 points for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're actually going to be talking about another great player, and that is none other than Tina Charles. So Tina Charles, great player. This one is for 6.5 rebounds, and this one is for less. Now, looking at Tina Charles, we actually have seen her go in the under in 3 out of the last 5 games. Looking at those 5 games, you see on August 18th, faced off against Indiana, had 6 rebounds there. August 20th, faced off against Washington Mystics, had 9 rebounds. Then August 22nd, faced off against Washington Mystics, actually had 6 rebounds. 10 rebounds against Chicago on August 24th. And then on August 26th, faced off against New York Liberty and had 3 rebounds there. So it is pretty interesting to see. Obviously, looking at someone like Tina Charles, we have definitely seen her go on the under quite, you know, consistently. But looking at Connecticut Sun, they do have themselves a very interesting matchup against Dallas Wings. Now, looking at where both these teams do stand, obviously starting off with Connecticut Sun, Connecticut have definitely had a struggle type season. They currently rank 11th in the WNBA. And on top of that, they also have a record of 9 wins, 28 losses. That's a 24.3% win percentage. They're also 6-12 from home, 3-16 from away, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak. Now, as I mentioned before, they face off against Dallas Wings, where Dallas Wings do actually come in at the 13th spot in the WNBA. Now, not only do they rank 13th, but on top of that, they have a record of 9 wins and 29 losses. That's a 23.7% win percentage. On top of that, they are 5-15 from home, 4-14 from away, and are currently on a 5-game losing streak. So it is pretty interesting to see. Obviously, looking at someone like Tina Charles, we definitely have, you know, seen her also struggle when it comes to her usage rate in this department. But looking at Dallas Wings and looking at where they do rank defensively, we do know Dallas Wings do rank 8th when it comes to rebounds allowed. So I would say they rank somewhat lower mid-tier in that category. Now, coming into this matchup, however, for someone like Tina Charles, we do very much like the under for this situation here, due to the fact that when we look at Dallas Wings, what we have actually seen is that when it comes to Dallas Wings, they actually do a fantastic job at restricting rebounds to the center position. So for that reason, we do very much like the under for this situation here. We definitely see someone like Tina Charles going on the under due to this situation, and we definitely see having that a huge effect in this outcome. So for that reason, definitely would keep an eye out for the under for someone like Tina Charles coming into this game. Now, as I mentioned before, when we look at Tina, we also do know her usage rate has been on the lower side as of lately. So with all those things being said, we do believe that's definitely going to lead to her under in this situation. Now, when you look at what the bookies are saying, bookies also are favored for the under as well. So Tina Charles, 6.5 rebounds for less, I think is a fantastic pick. Now, getting into the next one, we're going to be talking about A'ja Wilson. And this one is for 11.5 rebounds now, and this one actually is for less. Now, as we've mentioned before, when it comes to this, we do also see when it comes to A'ja Wilson, you know, and obviously the Las Vegas Aces. Obviously, looking at this matchup, we have seen A'ja actually go on the under in 2 out of the last 5. But the reason why that you may see some overlap with the picks, there are only 2 WNBA games for today. But looking at her last 5, we see August 18th faced off against Dallas Wings, had 8 rebounds there. August 20th faced off against Atlanta, had 12 rebounds. August 22nd faced off against Phoenix, had 13 rebounds. Then 13 rebounds against Washington Mystics on August 24th. And then 9 rebounds against Chicago Sky on August 26th. So it is pretty interesting to see. Obviously, looking at someone like A'ja Wilson, we have definitely seen her do a decent job in some games and other games not really do too well. Now, our average over the last 5 is 11, however, and a big reason for this is that even the times that she has gone on the over, it's not really that convincing enough to us coming into this situation. So that's definitely something to take into consideration. But looking at Las Vegas Aces and Atlanta, we have recently touched on their rankings, but just to reiterate again, obviously Aces rank 3rd in the WNBA, but pretty much come out as 2nd in the Western Conference. They have a record of 25 wins and 14 losses, but over the last 10 games, they actually have a record of 10-0 because of that 11-game win streak. Atlanta Dream on the other side ranks 2nd in the WNBA, but rank 1st in the Eastern Conference. They have a record of 24 wins, 13 losses, but over the last 10 games, they also have a really good record of 8-2. So not as good as the Aces, but definitely still on a very good side there. Now, coming into this matchup, looking at someone like A'ja Wilson, we do very much like this situation as we are expecting someone like A'ja Wilson to go on the under here. Because when we look at Atlanta Dream, we do see Atlanta Dream ranked number 1 when it comes to rebounds allowed. So they do a very, very good job at restricting rebounds. And on top of that, they also do a fantastic job at restricting rebounds to the center position as well. With all these things being said, we definitely see that being a huge case of going on the under in this one. So for that reason, I definitely would keep an eye out for the under for a situation like this. We definitely see someone like A'ja Wilson going on the under in this situation here. And due to the fact that we also do see when it comes to A'ja Wilson, we have seen her be a little bit lower in the usage rate. And as I mentioned before, even the time she's gone on the over, it hasn't really been that convincing enough to us. We do very, very much like the under for this one. So A'ja Wilson, 11.5 rebounds for less, I think is a fantastic pick. So as you all know, I do want to get these picks out to you as soon as possible, but Prizepicks is delayed with some of their lines. So here are a couple of players you should definitely watch out for when their lines drop. So the first player we're going to be talking about is none other than Brittney Griner. So as you all know, Brittney Griner is a fantastic player for none other than Atlanta Dream. And we actually have seen her do a fantastic job so far this season. Now, when it comes to Brittney Griner and Atlanta Dream, we do know Griner has actually averaged 10.1 points, 5.5 rebounds, 0.8 assists, and also 0.2 steals. So she's definitely done a fantastic job there. She's really been a really big asset for this Atlanta Dream team. And Atlanta do have themselves a very good matchup against the Las Vegas Aces. Now, the reason why this is definitely going to be a very exciting matchup is because we do actually see when it comes starting off with Atlanta Dream do come in at the 2nd spot in the WNBA. Not only do they come in at the 2nd spot in the WNBA, but they also rank 1st in the Eastern Conference. So they have a record of 24 wins and 13 losses. That's a 64.9% win percentage. And on top of that, they are 12-5 from home, 12-8 from away, and are currently on a 2-game win streak. Now, on top of that, they face off against none other than Las Vegas Aces, as we've mentioned, where Aces do come in at the 3rd spot in the WNBA. Now, they are in the other conference. They are in the Western Conference and ranked 2nd there. They have a record of 25 wins, 14 losses. That's a 64.1% win percentage. And on top of that, they are 14-5 from home, 11-9 from away, and are currently on an 11-game win streak. So it is pretty interesting to see there. Obviously, coming into this matchup, looking at someone like Brittney Griner, we definitely are expecting, an interesting matchup in a sense that we will see both of these teams give their all. Atlanta Dream ranked 2nd, Aces ranked 3rd. Obviously, both these teams will continue to fight for that win. But coming into this matchup, we do also see, looking at the Las Vegas Aces, we do see Aces do rank 8th when it comes to points allowed, 9th when it comes to assists allowed, and then when it comes to rebounds allowed, they do rank 10th. So it is pretty interesting to see. Obviously, looking at someone like Brittney Griner, we have seen her do a great job so far this season. But on top of anything else, what we also have seen is that Aces do rank very poorly at restricting points, rebounds, and assists. And that's why coming into this game, we do very much like the over for this situation here. Now, Brittney Griner is a fantastic player, but on top of anything else, what we also have seen with Brittney Griner is we definitely have seen her be able to take advantage of teams that do very poorly, when it comes to defense. Now, Griner does have a bigger and better usage rate in the points and rebounds department, so I definitely would focus a little bit more on those two, as we would more likely expect Prizepicks to have a line out for those two there. Now, coming into this one, we do also see when it comes to actually Brittney Griner, we do know over the last 5 games, you see on the 16th, faced off against Seattle Storm, actually had an 80-78 loss, had 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 0 assists there. Then on the 18th, faced off against Golden State Valkyries, actually had a 79-63 win with 8 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist there. Then on the 20th, faced off against Las Vegas Aces and had 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists in that matchup. Then on the 22nd, faced off against Minnesota Lynx, had a 75-73 win with 6 points, 8 rebounds, 0 assists. And then after that, again on the 24th, faced off against New York Liberty, had a 78-62 win with 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist there. So it is pretty interesting to see. Obviously, looking at someone like Brittney Griner, we have seen her do a fantastic job in these actual matchups. And we also do see facing off against Las Vegas Aces, we actually saw her go over on all 3 of her lines, whether it's points, rebounds, and assists. And that's why coming into this game, we do very much like the over for someone like Brittney Griner. We saw her do it in the last matchup against the Aces, and we shouldn't see her struggle to do it once again coming into this next one. So for that reason, definitely keep an eye out for the over for Brittney Griner. As I always mention, keep an eye out for the line. If the line is under averages, then definitely look to go on the over. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about none other than Amy Okonkwo. Now, when it comes to Okonkwo, we actually do know she has been doing a fantastic job for this, Dallas Wings team, averaging 10 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Now, looking at Amy, we also do know Dallas Wings have themselves a very interesting matchup against Connecticut Sun. And looking at where both of these teams do rank, we've unfortunately seen Dallas Wings really decrease, when it comes to their efficiency out there, and they now currently rank 13th in the WNBA. So what that means is they actually rank last in the WNBA out of all 13 teams, also rank last in the Western Conference, and they have a record of 9 wins, 29 losses. That's a 23.7% win percentage. They're also 5-15 from home, 4-14 from away, and are currently on a actual 5-game losing streak. So it is pretty interesting to see there. Obviously, looking at a matchup like this, we do know when it comes to Amy and Dallas Wings, they definitely have struggled, but they face off against Connecticut Sun, where Connecticut Sun do actually rank 11th when it comes to, their ranking. Not only do they rank 11th, they have a record of 9 wins and 28 losses, which is a 24.3% win percentage. Now, they are 6-12 from home, 3-16 from away, and are currently on a 1-game losing streak. Now, they do also rank when it comes to the Eastern Conference. They rank 5th in the Eastern Conference as well, which is interesting to see. And looking at, Connecticut Sun defensively, we do know ranking-wise, they do actually rank 10th when it comes to points allowed, 11th when it comes to assists allowed, and then rebounds allowed. They do also rank 11th there. So, Connecticut Sun are a very, very poor defensive team. And because of that, we are expecting someone like Amy to be able to take advantage of this here. Now, looking at this matchup, we do also know when it comes to Amy, we haven't seen her play that many games. She's only played the most recent 2, and she actually did a pretty decent job in both those games. You saw on the 23rd, face off against Seattle Storm, had a 95-60 loss, but had 8 points, 1 rebound, 0 assists there. Then on the 25th, faced off against Golden State Valkyries, had a 90-81 loss with 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists in that matchup. So it has been pretty interesting to see. Obviously, we are looking at the last 2 games rather than anything or like last 5. But coming into this one, we are expecting someone like Amy, who has started her 2 games that she has played very strong. And we are expecting her to continue on and do very, very well in this next one. Now, for Amy, I definitely would focus a little bit more on points and rebounds, due to the fact that when it comes to points and rebounds, she does have a higher usage rate in both those departments. So I definitely would keep an eye out for that for sure. So definitely keep an eye out for that. This one is a very good matchup for Connecticut Sun and Dallas, as Connecticut Sun just do a very poor job defensively, and we are expecting Amy to be able to take advantage of that. So keep on the over there. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Dana Evans from the Las Vegas Aces. So we have, touched on this matchup before, but as I mentioned, guys and girls, when it comes to, today, WNBA do only have 2 games, so a lot of the picks are going to be from these 2 games. But looking at Dana Evans, we have actually seen her do a fantastic job, averaging 6.8 points, 1 rebound, and 1.9 assists. So she's done a fantastic job there for Las Vegas Aces. And as we know, Aces face off against Atlanta Dream. Now it is going to be an exciting game between both of these teams, but looking at where they just rank, just to quickly remind you, they do rank third in the actual WNBA when it comes to the Aces. Now, they do have a record of 25 wins and 14 losses. However, over the last 10 games, they actually have a record of 10-0. So, they've been doing an absolute fantastic job. As we mentioned earlier, they are on a 11-game win streak, which is honestly insane. And we are expecting that, to hopefully continue on, as Aces are really hungry to continue to push. Now, looking at their matchup, they face off against Atlanta Dream, as we've mentioned, where Atlanta Dream do come in at the number 2 spot in the WNBA, but have a record of 24 wins, 13 losses, but over the last 10 games have had a record of 8 wins and 2 losses there. So they've actually done a fantastic job. We have seen Dana Evans and, Las Vegas Aces do a great job, but so have Atlanta. So coming into this game, it's definitely going to be an exciting one, but looking at where Atlanta Dream do rank, Atlanta do actually rank second when it comes to points allowed, second when it comes to assists allowed, and then first when it comes to rebounds allowed. Now, coming into this matchup, we do very, very much like this situation for someone like Dana Evans, but we do very much like the under for someone of her caliber. Now, a big reason being is that Atlanta Dream have just shown time and time again that they do a fantastic job at restricting, points, rebounds, and assists, but also do a fantastic job at restricting those things to Dana Evans' position. So for that reason, we do very much like the under for this situation here. When we look at someone like Dana Evans, we have seen her do a fantastic job time and time again, but coming into this next one, it is definitely apparent to us that with Atlanta Dream's great defense and the fact that they really do a great job in all 3 categories, we definitely are liking the under for this one. Now, looking at someone like Dana Evans over the last 5 games, you see on the 18th faced off against Dallas, had a 106-87 win with 6 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists there. Then on the 20th, faced off against Atlanta, had a 74-72 win with 3 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists. Then on the 22nd, faced off against Phoenix Mercury, had an 83-61 win with 17 points, 1 rebound, 0 assists there. Then on the 24th, faced off against Washington Mystics, had a 91-81 win with 21 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists in that matchup. Then on the 26th, faced off against Chicago Sky, had 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist there. So it is pretty interesting to see. Obviously, looking at someone, like Dana Evans, we did see her face off actually, against Atlanta Dream recently, and in that game we did see Dana Evans go under on all 3 of her lines compared to her averages. So that's why coming into this next one, we do very, very much like the actual under for this situation here for someone like Dana Evans. Atlanta Dream have just shown time and time again that they are a fantastic defensive team, so we definitely see that being a huge factor coming into this game. So for that reason, definitely keep an eye out for the under for someone like Dana Evans. As I've mentioned before, when it comes to someone like Dana Evans, keep an eye out for the line, and if the line is too close to our averages, definitely look to go on the under there. Now, getting into the next player, we're going to be talking about Saniya Rivers. So, Saniya Rivers, great player from none other than, Connecticut Sun. And she's actually done a fantastic job so far this season, because we've actually seen her average 8.3 points, 2.8 rebounds, and also 2.8 assists. So she's definitely done a fantastic job there. Now, when we actually look at, Saniya Rivers and Connecticut Sun, we do know that they face off against Dallas Wings. As I mentioned before, all the picks are probably from these same games. Now, when we look at this matchup, looking at Connecticut Sun, reminding you just their ranking, we do know they rank 11th when it comes to the WNBA, but also rank 5th in the Eastern Conference. They have a record of 9 wins and 28 losses, but over the last 10 games have actually had a record of 4-6, which is interesting to see. So a little bit more on the losing side, but definitely still interesting there. Now, looking at their matchup, we do know that they face off against, Dallas Wings, where Dallas Wings do find themselves in a bit more of a poorer spot, as they actually do rank 13th in the WNBA. So they rank last in the Western Conference as well, and last in overall WNBA. That's why coming into this matchup, it is going to be an interesting one. But looking at Dallas Wings, we do know they have a record of 9 wins, 29 losses. Now that is a pretty poor record, but over the last 10 games, they actually have a record of 1-9. So for that reason, coming into this matchup, it is going to be an interesting one because we have seen, Dallas Wings do pretty poorly as of recent. And when we look at Dallas Wings defensively, we also see a similar outcome because Dallas Wings rank 12th when it comes to points allowed, 13th when it comes to assists allowed, and then rebounds allowed. We also do know that Dallas Wings rank 8th. So we actually see that Dallas Wings do a pretty poor job defensively, and that's why for someone like Saniya Rivers, we definitely are expecting the over for this situation here. We don't really see someone of Saniya Rivers' caliber struggling in this matchup. She should be able to beat her line pretty easily, and the fact that she does have a pretty decent usage rate in all 3 departments, we definitely see that being a big thing coming into this game. Now, looking at someone like Saniya Rivers as well, what I also do need to mention is that when we look at the last 5 games, we see on the 18th, faced off against Indiana, had a 99-93 loss, and actually had 15 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists there. Then on the 20th, faced off against Washington Mystics, had an 80-69 win with 17 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist there. Then on the 22nd, faced off against Washington, had a 67-56 win with 7 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists. After that, on the 24th, faced off against Chicago, had a 94-84 win with 13 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists there. Then on the 26th, faced off against New York Liberty, had an 81-79 loss with 3 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist there. So it is pretty interesting to see. Obviously, looking at someone like Saniya Rivers, we have seen her do a decent job, in some matchups, and especially with a matchup like Dallas Wings, we should see her be able to take advantage of it. As when we look at the last 5 games, the times that she has had some pretty big stats, it was against pretty poorly defensive teams. So we aren't really expecting for someone like her to struggle in this one and actually be able to take advantage of it. So for that reason, definitely keep an eye out for the over for someone like Saniya Rivers, whether it's points, rebounds, or assists.